Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, the 15th of September, and the news we are starting with today is that Tesla is about to accept Bitcoin once again. And this is massive news for the entire space. Now, before we do get into all of the latest crypto news for today and the latest figures, be sure to hit that like button, drop me a comment, and please do subscribe because it really does help me within the algorithm. And oh my gosh, we're about to hit 11k. So without any further ado, let's get straight into today's latest and greatest crypto news. And the number one place that we are starting is with the number one story that everybody is talking about today, that Elon Musk has said that Tesla is going to resume Bitcoin payments now that it has crossed his threshold. While Bitcoin has now hit the milestone that Elon was waiting for before turning back on the Bitcoin payments for the electric vehicle giant. Now, if you don't know what Tesla is, frankly, you've been living under a rock. Tesla is probably one of the fastest growing electronic cars in the world right now. And in February 2021, Tesla made waves in the crypto market by buying $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin and indicating support for crypto as payment mechanisms, and the Bitcoin price rose to new highs of 44k shortly after. Now, Tesla still holds around 9,000 Bitcoin, and its current value is $259 million in its corporate treasury, making it the third largest public Bitcoin holder in the world. This is absolutely huge news. We should be getting excited about this. And it really does prove that companies can use Bitcoin as a payment mechanism, as well as other cryptocurrencies, of course, but it shows us this is still on the agenda of some of the biggest organizations in the world. The next story, of course, we have to go back to Gary Gensler. Now, Gary Gensler actually froze during interview questions on the XRP lawsuit. Now, the US Securities and Exchange Commission chair, Gary Gensler, faced awkward questions and awkward moments when he was asked around recent rulings around crypto lawsuits. Now, the SEC chair has been particularly silent on matters with the Ripple XRP lawsuit, but Gensler had to come out and really give some answers for once. I know that may shock a few people. His stance around it running past the law and it just being full of scams and Ponzi schemes probably isn't too far from the reality, but it's the way in which he's taking these significant L's. The silence in the courtroom was extremely awkward. I encourage you to go and check it out. It was quite hilarious to watch, and it probably made my day today. Next story is around who's bullish around Bitcoin right now and bullish on the entire market. Now, $20 billion flows into the crypto market cap in the last 20 hours, and that is absolutely huge. You'll note that the last few months have been traditionally very lacking in volatility. In fact, gold was more volatile than Bitcoin for weeks at a time in the last few months, which is just a crazy stat. I mean, $20 billion flooding into the crypto market in the last 24 hours is absolutely fantastic news. The next story is from Deutch Bank. They've took a huge U-turn on crypto, which is surprising. Now, Deutch Bank, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, they've partnered with the Swiss cryptocurrency firm Taurus to provide and offer custody services for institutional clients. Now, when we're talking about institutional clients, of course, we are then talking about the big boys and girls entering the space and offering TradFi, we call it traditional finance, potentially, and its services to consumers integrating crypto services. Who knows? This is an exciting development, and I can't wait to see how it does play out. The senator has been absolutely slammed crypto for putting Americans at risk. Now, look at this guy. He just looks like your typical American politician. Senator Sherrod Brown has raised concerns over the lack of transparency in cryptocurrency disclosures, and Brown has reached out to finance and trade leaders, including the Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen and the SEC Chair Gareth Gensler. Yes, that's right, Gareth, urging collaboration and strengthened oversight. The senator has emphasized the dangers of diluting America's high investment standards and warns against minimal disclosures requirements for digital assets. So I think his emphasis is mainly around security of assets. I mean, what is it with these politicians? Boris, Donald, and this guy, There's a bit of a situation going on up here. Anyway, let's move on to the next story. But he has got a bit of a point, let's be honest. Now, the crypto industry is changing, and it's constantly changing all the time, but there's been an awful lot of change over at Binance. More and more high-level executives have been leaving the exchange, and most recently and notably, the CEO of Binance US has resigned because the company has actually laid off around a third of its workforce. Now, the SEC brought serious charges against Binance and Binance US that are actually impacting their operations, not just in the US, but internationally. And to be honest, many are saying if you have assets on Binance US platform, you should consider moving them to other places. This is going to be a huge story. Binance have got the largest market share when it comes to entire markets internationally. And it's going to be, I find this intriguing. You know, when the giant starts to leak a little bit and you find out more internal information, you've got to start asking questions. And I think Binance have always come out fighting against things like this, and recently they've gone rather quiet. So let's see what happens with that. The final story before we get into the figures is around FTX. Now, FTX have been granted permission to sell $3.4 billion worth of digital assets, and this has caused concerns across the markets. But the question is, has it caused concerns across the charts? We're going to have a look at that in just a moment. What is the impact of this? Clearly, they're trying to, cash in on these assets. The bankruptcy court has ruled that they're allowed to sell them. What does it mean? Yeah, they can go and sell them on the open market to generate real-world cash and give it back to creditors. So let's have a look how it has affected. So at the time of making this video, all these numbers are correct. Bitcoin is currently sat at $26,563. That is an increase in the last 24 hours of 1.13%. Ethereum is currently sat at $1,628. That is also an increase of 0.7%. BNB is currently at $212 with an increase of 0.26%, and XRP is up 3.15% at 49 cents. BGB token finally is at 44 cents, also up 0.86%. So the lights are on, baby, the lights are on. Let's have a quick look at our memes. Shiba is up 1.8%, Doge is up 0.95%, and our first loser of the day is Pepe. It is down 1.07%. Then we've got Bonk down 2.43%, and Bone down 0.58%. Well, let's have a look at what that means for our ranges. Yes, baby, I'm getting slightly excited. Let's have a look at it. Reminder, the bottom of the Bitcoin range is $24,750, and the top of the range is $27,650, around those marks. Currently, the price is well above halfway through that range, and as you can see yesterday, we spoke about these candles. We continue to see that nice incline, and we have currently seen this small red candle on the 4-hour chart. The question is, today, can we test the top of this range around $26,800? If we can, I'm getting more confident around seeing a test of the top of this range. If not, we are going to be sideways trading for some time, unless there is some news that really shakes the markets. Of course, this is not financial advice. Let's have a quick look at Ethereum. You will remember Ethereum did break down out of the range. Reminder, the bottom of the range is $1,570. The top of the range is $1,730. We are pretty much bang in the middle of that range. The question yesterday was around, can we really test up and break above the mark we highlighted yesterday, which was around $1,650. We haven't yet. We really want to see that in the next 24, 48 hours, and then we'll get a much better feeling, because I think we are in a chance here, if we don't, of breaking back down and testing the lower of this range. So yes, I'm contradicting myself across Bitcoin and Ethereum, because I'm going off what I feel short term within the charts. At the time of making this video, the Fear and Greed Index is currently at 36 fear, and the global cryptocurrency market cap is at $1.04 trillion, and that is an increase of 1.14% in the last 24 hours. Now, the story over on Crypto Bubbles is very, very positive. As you can see around me, I'm surrounded by green bubbles, and it feels mighty fine. Of course, I use this as a great visual tool to see opportunities of where I can potentially make trades and have some fun. Now, I hope you are enjoying these daily videos. I'm back in Dubai, but I am heading to England because I'm going with BitGet to run some significant and massive events in the UK to try and take cryptocurrency to the masses. Traveling over to the UK this weekend. Can't wait for it. If you are going to be attending any of the events, be sure to come and let me know, and maybe we can have a beer together. Thanks for tuning in today. Remember, hit that subscribe button if you haven't, and thanks for tuning in. Most importantly, let's go.